Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essig.
All right, welcome in to the Fitness Fanatics. It is Sunday, November 20th. We are 4 days away from Thanksgiving. It's a wonderful day. I love Thanksgiving.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I love the turkey. It's something about how like turkey just tastes better on Thanksgiving. I don't know why that is, but it just does, in my opinion.
Okay.
And you do a really good job.
Thanks.
So
I do. I'm really good at cooking turkey. One time my grandma came over and she said it was the best turkey she'd ever had. And that is a huge accomplishment. That is literally top 10 accomplishments of my life that she said that.
Now, I know DP's, he has a book coming out about his grandma, which I'm super excited to get and read. Like, really, I cannot wait to read it. I wonder how he would have felt if he made a turkey for Thanksgiving and his grandma said, you know, Derek, this turkey's the best turkey I've ever had.
I know.
He would have felt awesome.
I know.
So I know you do a really good job. So Thanksgiving coming up on Thursday. Biggest football game of my life is on Friday when Nebraska plays Iowa. I think if Nebraska were to beat Iowa, it'd be like one of the top 10 moments of my football watching career.
You said yesterday that you might cry.
I might actually just drop to my knees.
We can talk. I do kind of want to talk about, I didn't think about this till just now, but why our Christmas tree, why we had to go get a Christmas tree yesterday.
Yeah.
We're not usually before Thanksgiving Christmas tree people. We do we buy a real tree every year, mostly because we have cats and that keeps the cats out of the tree. So we do buy a real Christmas tree. It's usually after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so it's usually after Thanksgiving, but after the Huskers lost yesterday, I was, I've been getting more depressed over the last month about this.
That one hurt. That one hurt really bad.
Just because it's just like, and
it's just unfair.
We don't want to get off on sports.
I know.
I do want to.
This isn't about sport. This is about you.
This is about me, but I do want to talk just real quick about just kind of mindset of two different fan bases, because we watched both the Nebraska game and most of the Iowa game, right? So the Nebraska fan base knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Or we believe we know what's going to happen.
Well, what do you think? You knew we were going to lose.
Oh, I remember I looked around the house and I was like, does anybody here think we're going to win?
Right.
And everybody says no.
Yeah.
Like,
I had already accepted it.
The entire state knew what was coming.
Right.
And it came.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So then we flip over to the Iowa game. The entire fans of Iowa, they know what's going to happen.
So you think it's our fault?
It's just, it's just the years of, like, we've had so many years of this happening in a row.
Sorry.
And Iowa's had so many years of good, positive, I call it luck, but you create your own luck. You create your own bad luck.
It's still frustrating to watch
you
as
watch
a non-Iowa fan.
You watch the two different games and you just see us unfolding right before your eyes, which seems that way every single week. That's why we're 1-13 in one-score games over the last 14 games,
which is shocking.
Okay,
right? That's crazy.
We're, for the most part, I mean, Iowa lost a couple one-score games this year, which, I mean, they really could be undefeated right now. Like, all their losses were just by the hair of a chinny chin, but most all their wins are the same way. So anyway, you got one fan base that's just knows what's coming, Nebraska, one fan base that just knows what's coming in Iowa. And it just seems like they get all the breaks. Take this game yesterday, right? Minnesota has like a 10-minute, 90-yard drive.
Yeah.
And then their All-American running back fumbles. Great play by Iowa. He punched the ball out.
Yeah.
Iowa recovers. And I was like, I was all upset about it because I'm cheering
was that
for
the
Iowa
time
to
when
lose.
Ben came out?
Yeah. So our son Ben was playing on Xbox with some of his buddies from Iowa. And when that play happened, he came out. He's like, well, I was playing with my buddy Jack, and he just said, uh-oh, something happened. My dad was just like, go. Oh, no, that was the interception. This is a little later.
Yeah.
So Iowa goes 3 and out, which I'm like, why was I worried about this fumble?
Yeah.
They're not going to do anything. So then Minnesota gets it. The ball's tipped, interception. And so, yeah, his dad's like, go. And then Ben comes out and says, oh, I heard my mom say, you got to be kidding me.
I was like, seriously? Right? And he was like, oh, yeah, I just heard my mom say, seriously? And then he goes, oh, my dad just said the F word. And then he came out to see what was going on.
The Iowa possession before, the ball's tipped. It goes right into the Minnesota defender's hands, and he drops it.
Yeah.
Then on the next series, the ball's tipped, goes into the Iowa defender's hands. He catches it. Like, that's what happens. When you watch a Nebraska game, we don't get that. Like, we just don't get it.
This is taking a turn.
That's all right. We got 2 hours. We don't have any guests today. We're doing all Q&A. So,
anyway, so the reason we have a Christmas tree today.
The reason we have a Christmas tree is I decided I wanted to get some joy and happiness in my life.
No, you were rage cleaning the house, which as you do when you're mad. But normally rage cleaning is just moving things around. He doesn't actually clean anything.
But we
decided to actually clean
the living room.
Yep.
Went out and bought a tree because I wanted to just bring some joy into the house. And we always get a real tree, and we just like the smell, the look, and our cats would climb up our artificial tree. So we've gotten a real tree probably every year for like the last 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
So we already have our tree. Usually we don't get it until next weekend. That Saturday, Sunday after Thanksgiving, but we went and got it because I was just feeling a little down. And
it's rough. I might not be in the house on Friday.
I might have to watch this Nebraska-Iowa game by myself.
Like go to the gym.
Like in a locked room somewhere.
Yeah.
Where nobody can hear me.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Mm-hmm. But we're going to lose anyway. So I'm just used to it. And we know what's going to happen.
I also wish I would have had a timer set for the amount of time that it took you to be upset about the loss, and then do come around to what if we did actually win next week, because that did happen.
Nebraska can beat Iowa.
Yeah,
it's going to come down to the final possession, and we know what's going to happen.
It's going to happen this year.
Okay. So anyway, moving on.
That's all we can say, really. What else are we supposed to do? We'll see. We'll know.
Yeah.
We'll know by halftime. If we're up by halftime, we're doomed.
It doesn't know.
We're doomed.
We're doomed anyway. It's a matter if we're up or down. That's just how
it is. What it is, you guys. It's just football.
Like last year, I was at the game. I was taking selfies, the scoreboard.
I know.
Like some of my Iowa friends already had their eulogy wrote up about the streaks ended. Like it's already over, and we're like, nah, it's not. So anyway, if you have any questions for us, we're going to be answering some questions. We posted out on our Instagram page. If you had any questions about Farrell's health, wellness, fitness, nutrition, that's kind of what we wanted to cover today. We don't have any guests, so this is just going to be Nicole and I answering questions. So hopefully you can text us some questions at 402-464-5685 on the Starter Heyman text line, also on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. Harrison's here. He's monitoring all that. So if we get some questions on there, we'll go over that. What we wanted to start with is this is our last show until our Black Friday sale is over. In case you missed last week, we are doing a Black Friday sale for an upcoming 10-week challenge that starts January 7th. Normally, you're looking at $449 for the 10 weeks. Our Black Friday sale is $199, and we're already up to about 30 enrollments. for the winter challenge. We opened it early for those that were texting me, filling out kind of our Black Friday form, emailing that wanted to get early access. So we're already up to 30 enrollments. Our new location, that's going to be on North 70th and Vine at Meadow Lane, is rocking already. I think 22 of those enrollments are at the new location. I have just yesterday during the football game, I had some people texting me how they were just so excited that they did Farrell's 12 years ago. Now they're so excited that the location has moved north. Just going to be cool. So we're going to get to your questions here coming up in the next segment. So again, 10-week challenge, January 7th is when it starts. $199 if you want to get that early access promo code. You just go to fxblincoln.com, or you can text me directly at 402-310-4026. So why don't we get started with one of our questions from our Instagram followers there. What do you think the first question we should go to?
Yeah, and then
we have a question.
Yeah, we're already getting a few right
good,
here.
yep.
So we got Tommy. First one up here. How do you feel about intermittent fasting?
Okay, that's a good question.
You're the nutrition expert of the two of us, so I'll let you take
So
care of this.
intermittent fasting is just okay. The results, like weight loss results, it really comes down to a calorie deficit. You're eating less calories than you're expending throughout the day. So what intermittent fasting does, it just shortens that window, so you have less opportunity to overeat your calories, basically. So intermittent fasting is not something that we necessarily recommend with our program. But again, that's not, and we're going to say this about a lot of stuff. There is no magic bullet to nutrition. You really have to find what works for you and your schedule and your lifestyle. I think personally, intermittent fasting is a great option for people who maybe don't have a lot of time to exercise or aren't in a strict, like at Farrell's 6 days a week, exercise program. If you're a person who travels a lot or sits at a desk all day long and you don't really have a ton of time for exercise and you want to lose weight, intermittent fasting could be a great option for you. But at the end of the day, you're just creating less time to be able to eat. You will see people who are pro intermittent fasting. They'll show you studies. Well, you always have to be a little wary of studies because they're usually biased, and obviously they're not going to share a study that doesn't align with what they're saying. But the biggest research that you can do is on yourself. Set a time and make it be long, 6-8 weeks. Try it out, see how it works for you. I've done intermittent fasting before when we were in Iowa and we had a very set schedule to our work. And I was only there in the mornings and it worked really well for me. Now, as our schedule has changed, as I am getting older and have dealt with injuries and hormone imbalances, it's all women's problems, but intermittent fasting would not work well for me. If you find that you are binging during that time, intermittent fasting is not for you. So
right,
I would say
you could intermittent fast and hit up the Pizza Ranch,
right.
hit up McDonald's, and just eat crap for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I didn't eat for 16 hours, but in these 8 hours, I can eat whatever I want. It's still not right like that. You got to keep track of your macros. Like that's the key as far as
if you really want to see, what you're doing, measuring what you're tracking, tracking what you're measuring.
Yeah. So macros are the key, and macros are your calories, proteins, carbs, and fats. So like if you don't, like I said, you could intermittent fast and only eat for 6 hours. But if you're just eating crap and drinking pop for 6 hours.
Yeah. And for me, it wouldn't even be that. I could intermittent fast, but I could maybe do it for 4 days. And then that 5th day, I would end up overeating like over one whole day. So like maybe I'm staying in a calorie deficit for 4 days. But then if I blow through that on that 5th or 6th day, we have a lot of people that do that where they are very strict during the week with their nutrition, with their calories. They eat really, really low calories. And then on the weekends, they go off the rails. If you're having a hard time not overeating on the weekends, you probably need to eat a little more during the week. And so that's kind of the non-answer of intermittent fasting. If you're interested in it, do your research, set a set time, 6 to 8 weeks, try it out, see how you feel. and then kind of go from there. If it's not something you can do forever, it's going to be kind of tricky. And if it's something you're only going to do for a short amount of time, have an exit plan where you don't just go back to your old habits once you stop and see you want to lose 10 pounds, you lose 10 pounds. Well, if you go back to everything that made you 10 pounds heavier, you're just going to gain that weight back again.
Right.
Hopefully that is a good answer.
Yep. And then back to the text line. Appreciate it. 402-464-5685. You just keep getting some more coming in here. Tommy says appreciate the feedback. And then Brian, he also chimes in. I am recovering from a knee surgery a few months ago, but still don't have full strength built back up yet. Does your program have a way to help me with that, but not overdo it?
I'm going to answer all the questions.
Nicole's like we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
This is kind of what makes us a good team, which one of our questions we're going to get to after this first break is really funny. But one of our questions was, what makes you qualified to be fitness fanatics? Right. So we're going to answer that coming up at 9:30. But one of the good reasons that makes us such a good team is like, we kind of compare this to being in school. If you want somebody to help you pass a test, like you talk to Nicole. If you want somebody to get you fired up
for the big game,
like a pregame pep talk speech, you go to me, right? So that's why people ask these questions, and the reason I look at you is because you have the answers.
Yeah, I know. It's just funny.
And if I start to answer some of these questions, just her looks are terrified, like, oh my gosh, what is he going to say right now?
That's true, because I had a conversation with someone about our whatever show where you were trying to talk about childbirth, and
hey, that was a good.
No, it wasn't. It didn't.
Not childbirth, the baby.
Okay, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, let's get
to motivator educator.
Yes. Motivator educator.
That is true.
So let's get back to Brian
so first of all, we want to make sure that you're like able to get back into it. You may need to modify some stuff, but we can help you do that. We can help you modify. The good thing about Farrell's, and Harrison, you can kind of chime in here too, because you're in the program right now, but you know how it's progressive. So the beginning, we encourage people to go lighter or even use just body weight. So that might be something if you're coming back from a knee surgery, go to your doctor, tell them what you're doing, tell them to tell you what you shouldn't be doing, and then we can help you work around that.
Well, I remember like we had a member, so we've been doing this for 10 years. So like whatever you have, we have had experience, maybe not us personally.
Or maybe us personally. I've been dealing with a back injury for almost a year and a half. I remember
Chuck McNeely, who he kind of had some bad knees. He couldn't kick a bag at all. And I remember his first day, he like had to go outside because he just thought he was going to pass out. He was just like, but he couldn't kick a bag at all.
I don't think he kicked the bag one time.
No, he didn't kick the bag one time in the 10-week challenge.
Yeah, he just did knee strikes instead of of roundhouse kicks on the bag.
And
he won his 10 weeks.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Didn't kick the bag once.
Right.
But he punched and he was just doing some modifications.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing jump squats or putting any pressure on his knee.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
You will find in the group fitness, depending on what your experience is with sports, sometimes it can be hard for people to modify. We have one of our instructors, Stephanie, she hurt her finger, broke her finger a month and a half ago now.
Yeah.
And she is still hesitant to come back to kickboxing because she does not think she cannot punch the bag. Like she knows herself and she knows she doesn't think she can. So there's going to be a little bit of a mental part of that you're going to have to check your ego at the door and really focus on rehabbing that knee at the same time as strengthening everything around it. But it's definitely something that we will encourage you to modify. We will give you a safe space to do that and not be judged, or we'll help you with that. It's just the mindset of you might not be doing what everyone else is doing. And you kind of have to go into it with that.
And that's okay.
It's okay. Right. Yeah. We all start from different spots.
Nobody, if Brian was in doing the challenge, nobody's going to look at him and be like, dude, what are you doing? No. Why aren't you doing jump squats?
Yeah.
So
what are you going to say?
I will say your instructors they keep a good eye on the room. I think it was Wednesday. I wasn't looking behind me, but I think someone was going through some shoulder pain. And the instructor, they got their eyes on the room. And so in the middle, he's instructing, he's like, hey, on your push-ups, don't go so far out, bring it in a little bit. So the instructors are keeping an eye on you too. And if they see you having unnatural discomfort, they'll kind of adjust to you and they'll be like, hey, you don't have to kill yourself and do what everything else is doing.
Yeah.
So the instructor's got a good eye on you too.
Especially if they know ahead of time. So that's
Yeah.
a lot of times I'll encourage members to be like, well, if they're like, oh, I can't, I did something. I'm like, well, let the instructor know so they'll know that they're not, that's what you're doing. That's why you're modifying.
Right. So we do have a text, and I'm just going to go over this probably within 30 seconds. It's from
is this about Iowa?
It says, Jeff, do you want to go to Indy with Jeremy and I?
It's Bubba.
And the answer is you aren't going to Indy because you're going to get beat on Friday in Iowa City. And if you can't beat a hapless 3-8 team, that's really, really, really sad.
Oh my god.
Okay, so anyway,
you said that.
If you do beat Nebraska, great job. You're supposed to. You'll probably be favored by double digits.
You met expectations.
Yeah, you met expectations, Iowa. Great job. Great job. In fact, this will be 6 years in a row that you will have beaten a team with a losing record. So congratulations.
Oh, also
Okay. Moving on.
Well, and about the knee injury too.
Yeah, going back to Brian.
Brian, if you want to, you can totally give us a call. Come in. We can meet you up at the gym. We can talk to you about stuff too. If it's something that you're really wanting to do. Again, the session doesn't start till January, so you still have a little bit of time to kind of help rehab that. And
and
we'll meet you up at the gym and we can talk.
And I was texting somebody who signed up for the Black Friday sale who's he needs to lose some weight, and I said, well, we can have you come in,
do an in-body, and
because we're still 6 weeks out.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you want to get started on nutrition, you can come in, we'll do a body composition, we'll give you your macros ahead of time.
Yeah.
So maybe you can lose a little bit of weight before the challenge starts, since we're so far out from that starting. So that's an option too, which is, probably an option we'll offer everybody here. Once kind of the dust settles after next weekend and see how many people we have, we're going to be doing a few things over the 6 weeks.
And we got to move the gyms. We're moving
the gym. So the Pioneer location will probably be closed for 4 or 5 days here in the middle of December. So got a lot of stuff going on. Again, any questions? We're gonna go to break. When we come back, we're gonna answer a question from one of our Instagram followers to what qualifies us to be fitness fanatics.
Mm-hmm.
So stay with us. We'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket, Fitness Fanatics.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse? Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam, ran right into the side of the saloon. Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Neil Armstrong waited 6 hours and 39 minutes to step onto the surface of the moon. Jackie Robinson waited 20 months to play his first game with the Brooklyn Dodgers. And even DiCaprio had to wait 22 years to win an Oscar. You can wait until your destination. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People Seating Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the Fitness Fanatics. We appreciate the questions we got in the first. Well, I appreciate all the questions except for Bubba's question, but the other two we appreciate. No, we appreciate everybody listening, chiming in. So again, we have kind of a list of questions that we wanted to cover from our listeners. We usually don't have a ton of interaction during the show, like a 9 to 11 on a Sunday. People are kind of doing other family things, going to church, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Still kind of sobbing from the game yesterday, that type of thing. We were kind of excited. We were talking about when we moved to the downtown location and people could kind of walk by.
Moves.
Yeah.
The ticket moves.
The Sunday morning will be kind of we'll be getting all the heads down, walking by the studio.
I'm so excited for that.
We'll have
That's
to
gonna
try
be
to
awesome.
get a pick me up as, like you walk by, I'll help get you motivated, that type
we'll
of
have to
thing.
get you some pom-poms.
Yeah. So
And I'll start wearing glasses.
this question we wanted to cover here, I don't know if it'll take a while, but was
I don't think it'll take
so
a
we
while.
have a show called the Fitness Fanatics, right?
Maybe you've heard of it.
Yeah. And so what kind of qualifies us to be fitness fanatics?
Right.
So what does? I'll
Well,
let you start.
Well, okay. So, we kind of come into this as gym owners also. So we own Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, but fitness has been a part. Well, really my fitness journey has been Farrell's, but I've done a lot of things outside of that too. Half marathons, full marathons, triathlons, stuff like that. So fitness has been a big part of our lives for the last 16 years, 15 years so far for me. But as far as, being qualified to be Fitness Fanatics or be a whatever health and fitness expert, our experience in the program for this long, I am also a NASM certified personal trainer. So I have that actual accreditation as a CPT certified personal trainer. Jeff does not have that certification.
Nope.
I know. So you're all experienced.
I'm not a book smart person.
I know.
I'm the street smart.
Yeah. So that is I feel like that's a pretty good qualification. I've taken the time, taken the course. I could go anywhere and be a personal trainer. I wanted that expertise. And it's funny because I just got that qualification probably a year ago. And we have a couple of our instructors that are CPT certified also. And I remember talking to both of them. It was Crystal and Molly, and talking to both of them about like, I kind of want to do this, but I'm worried about it. Like, what if I don't pass, And they were both like, that is absolutely ridiculous. You're going to know everything. And it was true. Like, I didn't really learn a ton. I mean, I learned a lot. Actually, what I learned was the validation of how sound our program is and how it does fit into really well into like the blueprint of fitness and how strength should progress and stuff like that. So it was a lot of validation and a lot of I did learn some stuff too, but so that is my qualification.
So I think for me, it's kind of like what makes a good coach. So like,
what's that one football coach that I'm always like, did he even play football? What's that one? He looks like a kid. He looks like a nerd.
The Dolphins coach.
Right. Yeah.
Whenever
I don't know if he did or not. No, McDonald or something.
I thought it was McDaniel.
Oh, McDaniel. Yeah. But he looks looks like he's your age.
Yeah. He's a young guy for sure.
I'm always like, how is he a pro football coach? I've not done no research to know what his qualifications are.
I kind of think like, or not really a coach, but like, when you're talking about sports in general, like I always like listening to, like I'd rather listen to AD, to Strickland, to Jay Foreman, to former because
you're getting a perspective that you don't have.
Right. I've never. Well, okay, so I played football in high school, but I've never played like at a professional level, right?
You need to do air quotes.
Like Eric Strickland played in the NBA for a decade, right? Okay, I would rather listen to his opinion about basketball than mine. Or yours,
yeah,
right? Because he's been there and done that,
right?
So for me, like Farrell's really helped save my life and change my life. For those who don't know, when I was 30 years old, I was 240 pounds. I was 49% body fat. I just got denied life insurance at age 30 because my liver and kidneys just were not functioning.
As the sole income earner of the family. Yes. I was a stay-at-home mom.
Cold stay-at-home mom. We had 2 young kids, and I drove all over the state of Iowa, Nebraska, Missouri in sales. So that was kind of my wake-up call. So what I learned through Farrell's with the nutrition, the workouts, I've been there, right? So yeah, I didn't go to college. I didn't go and do a master's program in nutrition or physical science or anything like that. Like I don't have any of that experience.
Right.
The experience that I have is, and pretty much all my fitness stuff too has been Farrell's.
Right.
I didn't do really anything before. This is just what I've done for 15 years. So I've seen the benefit of the program. So I am an expert in the Farrell's program.
And just changing your lifestyle.
Changing my lifestyle. Yes.
Right.
Big into mindset and the mental part of it too, which we'll talk about a little later. But, I've been there and done that. Just like Eric Strickland. He's been there and done that. He played in the NBA for a decade, right? And I heard him say he handed Michael Jordan one of their 10 losses in their 72-10 seasons.
That's so cool.
Was to Eric Strickland.
Yeah.
Played against Michael Jordan. I mean,
it's not as cool as grandma saying that it was the best turkey she's ever had. But
that's pretty cool too.
I feel like that's probably equal. Like that was so cool for me. That was probably equally cool for him.
So like when people are looking for are you a certified or are you a personal trainer? Well, no, I'm not a certified personal trainer.
Right.
But I've been doing Farrell's for 15 years.
But you're married to one.
I'm married to one. And I've been doing Farrell's for 15 years. that I know it works.
Yeah, and our
because-
program is very progressive. It's designed in a way, so, there's, as part of my my certification, you go through this, performance model where you have different stages of your fitness, and Farrell's fits into that perfectly for the first 1, 2, 3 weeks, and then weeks 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10. It really does fit into those models really well. So, what we talk about, our program, is not something that we created. It was created from a martial arts background. It was created with experts. Our nutrition program was created by a registered dietitian. We also know when to kind of lean on the expertise of other people that know more than us. So we have, one of our instructors, Carrie Manning, she's a registered dietitian. So I know if we were ever giving advice that was just crazy, she would be like, I don't think so.
Right.
Right.
What are you
So,
guys doing?
right. Yeah. So, everything that we do is really, it's evidence-based for sure. And we've seen that. So we call ourselves Fitness Fanatics. That's more tie-in for the ticket because it's a sports radio show, but we don't call ourselves.
And Jake likes things
experts.
to rhyme. He
Right.
likes to
Yeah.
FF, early break with Sip and Jake. You
Yeah.
know? So,
Yeah.
So yes.
That's why we're Fitness Fanatics. We're not experts, or we're not,
Well, and I think too, we're average people.
Yeah. Yes.
We struggle just like every other person with nutrition, with motivation to work. I mean, we struggle with that stuff.
Mhm.
If I wasn't in Farrell's, I literally wouldn't be doing anything.
Yeah.
I can't do anything on my own.
Right.
I have no willpower. None. I have zero. That's just how I am. And that's the typical, not the typical, but the average person that will start with us
Mhm.
is somebody who is just like me, who couldn't do it on their own, needed people around me to help me reach those goals and to hold me accountable. Now, us as owners, we have a question on the text line from Joe. Said, being gym owners, will you explain your average day? So
average day for us.
Yeah. So this kind of all ties into being held accountable. A lot of times there's nobody to hold us accountable.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So because most of our day and our week and our month and years is trying to help change and help motivate others to reach their goals.
It's a lot like parenting, where
Yeah.
sometimes you can kind of put yourself second
Right,
to,
right.
yeah. And I think that's true for any business owner.
Yeah. So
too.
a typical day for us. Well, we have 2 locations. So a typical day for us starts with the alarm going off at 3:05 a.m. every day because we have a 4 a.m. class at both gyms.
Yep.
So, we'll go in. Sometimes now we do have 42 instructors between the 2 locations. So we don't have to teach every class, but we do instruct 1 or 2 classes a day.
Mhm.
Typically there's not a day that goes by that we don't instruct at least.
You didn't
one.
instruct yesterday.
Yeah, and that's kind of
Did
nice.
you work out?
No.
No.
Well, I did not.
All right.
But we'll go over that later.
Okay.
Not today on the show. But
Oh,
later.
okay.
At home, we'll talk about that.
You don't need to talk about it.
No, I know.
Right.
But so anyway, again, there's nobody holding me accountable.
Yeah.
Right. So it depends on where we're at. The 2 gyms are a little bit different dynamic as far as the class schedule goes. At Yankee Ridge, we're there from 3:45 a.m. until 9:30 in the morning
for all the morning classes.
For all the morning classes. So we have 4, 5, 6, and 8:30.
We alternate each week who's at which gym, so we have equal time between the gyms.
Right. So then if we're at the Yankee Ridge gym, then we get to go home, and I will say we usually do take naps during the day. Which is
one
nice.
of us more than the other.
Oh, every day for me.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Yeah.
If I didn't take a nap during the day, I literally would be sick.
Yeah, you need extra sleep for sure.
I do.
3:30 is early.
Yeah.
It
we
is
go
early.
to bed early though too. I mean
8:30, 9.
Yeah.
Typically. And then we go back for the PM classes. Now we only have 2 nighttime classes at both locations, so that's kind of nice. But it's basically a split shift every single day, Monday through Friday.
Yep.
And then Saturdays we just have 3 classes, and then we're pretty much off. Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, and Sunday. So it's a pretty good gig as far as my work uniform is shorts.
Yeah.
And a sweatshirt.
Yes.
And a hat. Basically like what you see right here.
I'm literally wearing my uniform.
Nicole wears, workout pants and tank tops and long sleeve and a hat, so that's pretty nice. So, we're there. If an instructor can't teach, then we will fill in and teach for them. So we just,
we're typically there for most classes. Occasionally, I mean, some of the class times we're there and then we leave once the class starts. So it just depends, because we still have like errands to run during the day and stuff like that. So sometimes.
Yeah. And we're very blessed, like for our Pioneers location, which will soon be the Meadow Lane location. We do have a 12:15 class, and most of our instructors at 12:15 will go and they'll open the gym for us. And so we don't have to go up there over the noon hour every single day. Usually like at the start of a 10-week challenge for the first 2 or 3 weeks, we are there every single day. So our kind of goal is, we need to care more about students than everybody else in the gym. Our coaches and instructors.
This is our full-time job.
Yeah. So we don't have any other jobs outside of doing.
And our instructors and our coaches, this is just a part of their day. So we don't expect them to, have to pick up that slack. That's kind of what we're here for.
Yes. Yes. So, but it is a very, it's a rewarding career to be in, because we love seeing people change. We love seeing stories of my blood pressure got below, this number for the first time in 10 years. We have a lot of members that we know in Lincoln and that we helped get started in Altoona that have lost over 100 pounds, that have literally added years to their life. So that's kind of why we do what we do. Farrell's really helped change our lives. And so that's why we're doing this.
Yeah. We don't, the thing that I say a lot at like our orientations is we don't do this. And some gym owners have this mindset, and that's perfectly fine, because they are attracting the people with similar mindsets to them. So there's literally nothing wrong with this, but like we tell people that we don't do this because we think everyone should have 6-pack abs. Like that's not kind of our goal. Is to I personally, myself, especially like I said, as I've gotten older, that aesthetic part of being in the fitness industry isn't quite as important to me personally for myself anymore. I want to make sure that I am healthy. I want to make sure I can do everything that I want to do. I can, run up a flight of stairs and not be out of breath. I can, just feel like I can do stuff. And that's kind of what we want to help other people too. Now, if your goal is to get a 6-pack, we can help you with that.
Absolutely.
Right. That doesn't mean that we can't help you, but that's kind of our kind of mindset, where we just want to help people just be healthier in general. And that doesn't have to be a number on a scale or necessarily weight loss. It's just, helping people understand that they're capable of more than what they think they can do.
Right. Because, Nicole has, for the 10-week challenge, we take before pictures. Well, Nicole takes before pictures, and she's taken, just since we've been owners for 9 years, we've had over 3,500 people that have came through the 10-week challenge under our leadership. So she's taken basically, let's just say 4,000 before pictures, because she managed the Altoona gym. Now, out of those 4,000 people, how many people come in there to do their picture and have been excited about this? Like
0.
I cannot wait to get my before picture.
Probably none.
Okay, none.
That's not true. There's probably some people that are excited, but no.
Not very many.
No.
and we have people start Farrells of all different ages, weights, body fat percentages, and it doesn't matter if you're 100 pounds or you're 300 pounds. Nobody wants to get their picture. Nobody likes getting their picture taken.
I tell people that all the time. We've had people in tears that the thought of getting their picture taken, I'm trying to talk them into it. I'm trying to assure them that, and they are smaller than me.
Right. Sometimes there's guys that start that I'm like, I wish your before picture is my after picture.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So that has nothing to do with it. The size of a person has nothing to do with what's going on inside of their head. So yeah, I've seen it all. I've seen people that have struggled to show their midsection, their belly button. And it's all things in their head, oh, I've had a baby, I've had stretch marks. And I'm like, well, do you want me to show you my stretch marks? Because I have some too. Like, it's fine. It's all normal. So that's, definitely we see that.
Do we have time for another question there on our list?
Where are we at?
3-4 minutes.
You can go a couple minutes yet.
What's another question there that we have?
Well,
we can
have
go quick.
Yeah. So, we'll talk about the pre-workout question really quick. Yeah.
Pre-workouts,
So we're gonna kind of jump around just because this one I think is kind of fast, quick. Someone had asked about what our thoughts are on our like taking a pre-workout before class.
Okay, so again, this is what makes this great. 2 different things happen with us
in the mornings. Yes.
So Nicole is a huge pre-workout fan. Like she takes, it was called Fuel, which they don't make anymore.
They make it, but it's being reformulated. It doesn't matter. Nutrition Authority isn't carried anymore.
Right. So Nicole goes to see Matt at Nutrition Authority to get her pre-workout. So she's a huge pre-workout fan. I am not. I mean, I will take it on occasion, but I'm more of just because I look at different perspective. I look at the pre-workout as like, okay, you're just getting a caffeine jolt. Right?
Just true.
Okay. So if I'm looking at an ingredient list and there's a million things in there, where I like to get my caffeine is just from coffee, like instant coffee. So what I do in the morning is at 3:30, I do a scoop of protein powder and I have Folgers instant coffee. I put 2 scoops in there, blend it up, drink it in like 20 seconds. That's kind of my pre-workout.
Yeah.
She will do scoop protein and her Fuel or whatever pre-workout that Matt gives her for that week or month.
Right.
So that's kind of the different perspective. So like, and again, I think a lot of it's mental.
It is 100% mental. Yes.
Like we wake up and I'm like,
It
I'll
is.
get my coffee at 3:30 in the morning. I'm going to be and she's like, Jeff, can you stop and get me more Fuel? Because if I don't have it, I have to take something else.
It's 100% mental. There are certain stimulants that are in some pre-workouts, but I just broke this pen. I just pulled a Jeff. I broke a pen. Anyway,
fidgeting with stuff.
I was.
Okay. Yeah.
So there are some stimulants in pre-workout that can help you negligibly with your workout. So like it may give you a little more energy. There is like what you may not like about pre-workout is the beta alanine or the niacin that gives you like this flushed feeling. Some people don't like that. I like that feeling.
Itchy.
Yeah, you get a little bit itchy, but that motivates me to like do more. So like, it makes me work harder because I like kind of want to like flush it out. So it's just, it's mostly a vehicle for caffeine. So I know like where you have it multiple times a day, I try to limit it to my one pre-workout in the morning before my morning workout. So that's kind of our thought.
Me, it's mental
you
too,
try
like,
it and see if you like it, that's
and if
kind
you,
of the way that it is.
If you go to Nutrition Authority, you can get a sample. Like you don't have to buy an entire jar, and drop money on it. Like Matt will give you a sample.
Because it can be pricey.
Yeah. And it's so like, and that's why like for
your
me,
coffee's cheaper.
My
sure.
coffee is cheaper for sure. So, all right. If you have any questions for us, 402-464-5685 on the Starter Human text line. We'll be right back on the Fitness Fanatics.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Tractor Supply has a new progressive pay model where team members receive 5 wage increases in the first 2 years of employment with the ability to earn up to $24 per hour. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days with both day and night shift schedules available. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action. Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Into the building for the first time after the shooting. It was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Mario fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil. Un día me dijeron que pintara el marco del lado por dentro y pinté el lado de afuera.
Yo le diría a la gente que le diga a su familia lo que está pasando con él.
Si algo se nota diferente, podría ser Alzheimer. Es momento de hablarlo. Visita alz.org/nuestras historias para saber más. Un mensaje de The Alzheimer's Association y The Ad Council.
Ashiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to boost your retirement savings now. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro today.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. Welcome back in. Just got a quick segment here before we get to the top of the hour. We're just kind of doing a Q&A today. If you have any questions for us, you can reach out on the streams, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, or you can text the show at 402-464-5685 on the Starter Heyman text line. If you missed any part of the show, you can go back, listen to it on the podcast on the ticketfm.com under ticket weeknights and weekends. So just real quick here before. Oh, actually, let's answer this question we just got. Okay. So Joe has another question. What do you say to someone that doesn't put themselves before their job or career or whatever it may be to help them realize their health is more important than whatever's getting in the way? I'm struggling to balance my daily life, if you can't tell.
That's a good question.
We don't have enough time to answer that question.
We might have to get to this question at the top of the hour.
Yeah.
So
let's do that.
Let's do that because now we're going to get into some
mindset
things. And,
so
and
we're going to put a pin in that one and circle back.
But that's a great question.
It is.
Because I think a lot of listeners, and AD will tell you whenever he talks on his show, a lot of listeners text in about putting themselves first. So we will get back to that.
Yeah.
But real quick,
because this is our short segment.
Yeah, short segment. We have a lot of people that listen that do not live within driving distance of the gyms. So we do have a virtual program that you can do strictly from home. We have members in 10 different states around the country. In fact, we have 2 people that have already signed up for the Black Friday sale, one that lives in North Dakota and one that lives in Colorado. So one of the questions was about the at-home, like what comes with the at-home program? What does all that entail? So when you sign up to do the virtual program, you get a set of resistance bands. that we ship to you. How that works is all of our workouts are Monday through Friday are pre-recorded. They're embedded on YouTube. We have a virtual studios website that we use. So you can watch it on your big screen, your tablet, your iPhone, whatever you want to use. You can do the workout at any time
We
during
put
the
them
day.
up the night before, actually.
Yes.
So they're there whenever you get up.
Yes. So if you get up at 3:30, 4 a.m., you can
Mm-hmm.
do the workout whatever time you want. If you miss a day, you can go back and hit that workout up the next day. You do not need a bag to do the at-home kickboxing workouts. We do all shadow boxing. So it's the exact same structure as we do in the gym as far as like different sets, time, punches, kicks. We're just doing shadow boxing instead of punching and kicking the bag.
Mhm.
So classes are still 6 days a week. You still have a coach. You still get all the nutrition info. It's tinkered a little bit because if you don't have access to a scale that gives us like your BMR, basal metabolic rate, we do have kind of a basic formula that we've worked with Matt from Nutrition Authority that we give our virtual members as far as, what's your weight, your goal weight, and then we give you your calories, proteins,
Yeah,
carbs,
and it's
fats.
always pretty close
Yes.
to what
And-
that would
yep,
be.
Yep. And you're still intertwined with the 10-week challenge group. So
Mhm.
we do have a Facebook page. So it's pretty much exactly like being in the gym, except you're at home.
Yeah.
So if you live out of state, that is definitely an option for you. So we'll be right back. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to dive into Joe's question. And so we'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket, Fitness Fanatics.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the Ticket crew live from Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brought to you by A1 Automotive, Mullen Motors, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Bauer Underground, Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group, and Ritchie Brothers.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket. Every Saturday morning now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes? Their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action. Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
Hey, you got this. Just breathe. Hey, we're pretty good.
yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. Welcome back into the Fitness Fanatics here, top of the hour, hour number 2. So we're going to dive into Joe's question. So if you're just joining us here on the stream or listening or wherever, Joe just had a question about what do you say to someone that doesn't put themselves before their job or career or whatever to help them realize their health is more important than whatever is getting in the way. I'm struggling to balance my daily life.
Well,
you can't tell.
First thing that I'm going to say is the thing that Mark always makes fun of me about. Just being honest and being like that, putting yourself last in your life, that does not make you special. You are not special for doing that. And so what I always say is, that doesn't make you special. That makes you normal. I would say most people, especially that start our program, because our, demographic is a little bit older. Not older, but kind of older, mid-life, members, that's going to be a struggle for most people. So that doesn't make you special. That makes you normal, first of all.
Makes you normal. Yeah. So what I would tell Joe is, okay, so go back to my story. I was the only provider for the family, drove all over the Midwest, worked a lot of nights on the road in sales. I would hit up the gas station with the Fritos, the Mountain Dew, the giant hanging bag of Reese's Pieces. Like that would be my lunch, all carb loaded, no protein. I really didn't know what I was doing back then.
It'd be funny. We should count up the macros of that just to see.
It's really bad. Big grab bag of Fritos, big bag of Reese's Pieces, and some Mountain Dew. So when I wasn't diagnosed, but when I got denied life insurance,
because they take your blood.
Take my blood. Yeah.
Right.
When I got denied life insurance, I couldn't call the life insurance agent and say, Mr. Life Insurance Agent, I'm busy.
Right.
I own my own business. I did own my own business. It was a sales business. Like we did insulation. I'm busy. I have kids. I have a mortgage. I'm the only provider for my family.
Income provider.
Income provider. Yes. I just don't have time to eat health. I don't have time to work out. Right. And, if I would have called them and said that, would they have said, all right, I understand.
Right.
We're going to provide health insurance or life insurance. No, they're not going to say that.
Right. Because they're looking at the facts. They're looking at the numbers. Your liver enzymes were out of whack. Your blood pressure was too high. Like they're looking at you in black and white on a piece of paper.
Right. Now, not everyone is in a life and death situation.
Yeah.
Right. Most of the people, now we do have some people when they start ferals, it's like, you need to do this.
Mhm.
Like, you need to do something or you won't be here for much longer.
Yeah.
If you get diagnosed with type 2 diabetes from being overweight, from not taking care of yourself,
Mhm.
you get diagnosed with heart disease. Heart disease doesn't care
Right.
that you own your own business.
Yeah.
It doesn't care what you're going through. Like, we all go through stuff. And I know, like, when my dad passed away in 2015, that was tough for
Mhm.
me, but I got up and I instructed class the next day. I
Mhm.
just didn't take a month off, 6 months off, a year off and sulk about it.
Right.
Because that stuff doesn't care.
Yeah.
We have everybody that does ferals, and we've heard all of these
Mhm.
excuses that I'm busy. You can make time, because if you can't get to the gym, you can do it from home.
Yeah.
You have that option, even if it's at 9:00 at night, because as our members see, and whether you're a member at Farrell's or Good Life or Orange Theory or any gym in the city, right?
Mhm.
Or any gym anywhere, once you stop going, it is so hard to
Yeah.
start back.
Right.
And the longer you're gone, the harder
Mhm.
it is. And we see this time and time and time and time again over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
We see it every 10-week session. We see it for our fit members.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
it happens all the time. And we understand, because we've been there. I've been there. Did ferals, lost 30 pounds. I quit, gained it all back, plus an extra 10.
Mhm.
But the difference, the second time I did it, and I think Nicole, because she did it also.
Yeah.
And she didn't finish the 10-week challenge.
Nope.
Okay, so this is us going back to, we've been there,
Yeah.
right?
This was even before I considered my time as doing
Yeah,
ferals.
this was just, it wasn't even ferals at the time. It was at a
No.
ferals location. It was called Ultimate Body Challenge.
Yeah.
So
It was pre-ferals, but it was ferals.
Right.
It's what turned into
right,
ferals.
right. So
2004, I think.
So we've been there, but the difference, I think, for me, the second time, well, the first time I went through it, I didn't really learn anything. And we have people that go through the 10-week challenge that they can drop 20, 30 pounds. They can win $1,000. They can be in the top 3, top 2, top 5, like, look amazing, but they didn't learn anything up here.
Mhm.
Changing your mentality to make whatever you're doing be a lifestyle change.
Yeah, I
That's
think-
what we want our members
Yeah.
to do, is to be able to make a lifestyle change, not a quick fix.
Right.
To
Which
make you
is
look
really
as best
hard.
as you can in 10 weeks.
Yeah, which is really hard for us because of the industry that we work in.
That's
the
right.
fitness
It's-
industry,
it-
the biggest loser mentality, as you say.
Yes.
People want really fast results. Well, we're trying to go against that and tell people we want you to have sustainable results. Like, yeah, you have lost 30 pounds in 6 weeks before, but then you stop doing whatever you did in that time, and in that next 4 weeks you maybe gained it back. Have you ever really looked at what happened in an actual 10-week amount of time? Because you could start a crash diet, you could do it for 4-6 weeks and then stop doing it, and you could at the end of 10 weeks end up in the exact same place that you were 10 weeks before, but you weren't counting time that way, so you didn't necessarily know that that's what was happening.
Right.
That's what we struggle with at week 5 with people, because we tell people at week 5, this is really only an indication of about 25% of what you had an ability to change at 5 weeks, because the first 2 weeks is learning. We're just now starting to really go heavy on strength training, and hopefully the habits you've built are going to help keep you going for the rest of that 75% of your results in the next 5 weeks. It's
Yeah.
hard for people to get that, though.
Well, and there's, this gym isn't in Nebraska, but it was a gym in Iowa.
I
Right?
hate it when you do
I
this.
don't care. So this gym in Iowa, their whole sales pitch was, if you don't lose, and the reason we can talk about this, because we've had people that have done it. This is back when I don't know if they were kind of all like that, recently, but
I don't know.
If you lose 20 pounds in 6 weeks, you get your money back. You basically get to
Mhm.
do it for free. So you paid up front. So when we had moved away from Iowa, we had some friends of ours that got into this program. So now we kind of knew the inner workings.
Yeah.
Because they were asking us advice.
Yeah.
Like, Nicole, what should I be doing?
Right.
Well, aren't you going to a gym?
Yeah.
Like,
My
okay,
advice was
don't do what they're telling you to do.
no,
Oh,
my advice was to do what they're telling you to do. Otherwise, you're not getting a good
Right.
representation of what the program is. That was my advice, because I would be irritated if someone started our program and didn't want to listen to what we were saying.
and
That
we
was my
have-
advice.
We
But
have a lot of people that start our program that don't listen to
Right.
what we're saying,
Yes.
and then they get on the scale at 5 weeks and they're upset.
that's why I would say that to this
But
person.
the thing is, like, we've had people that said, okay, it got down to like the final week, and they're taking like baths to try to help them lose weight. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
not going to say a name, but
Right.
you know who I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
And
Like,
yeah.
okay,
Things to manipulate the
right,
scale.
things to
Right.
manipulate your body
Mhm.
into doing things that it normally shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Right. Where we're trying to teach you kind of like if you look at Nebraska football, the next coach is going to have to teach fundamentals. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, there's no quick fix,
Right.
right? There could be a temporary quick fix, like getting 20 players out of the transfer portal. It's not
Mhm.
very sustainable. It might not work because everybody might not gel, right? So what we're going up against in the fitness industry is, yes, you need to eat 800 calories and drink these shakes and eat this prepackaged food, and you're going to lose all this weight
Yeah.
in 5 weeks or 6 weeks. And if you want to keep it going, you're going to have to keep doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where what we're trying to teach is more of the slow and methodical. Like, we want to try to teach people, like, change their
Habits.
habits.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of that, so this is a good time for me to bring up that picture I showed you this morning.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I found that, or I just saw this online. I can't remember who tweeted it or posted it, but this kind of stems for anybody that's starting anywhere,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So we're 6 weeks away from New Year's resolutions.
Well, and then before you say that, what I was going to say too is you can't, if you start any program, but we're going to say Farrell's because that's our program. You can't just buy a gym membership and think that that's going to give you your results. Like,
right. We're gym owners,
yeah.
and that doesn't guarantee
Right.
results.
Yeah.
And we're there every single day.
Yeah.
For the most part,
Right.
Working out for
Yeah.
the most part.
I work out every day.
Yes. So
Anyway,
so
yeah.
that doesn't guarantee
Right.
results.
So you can't just get a gym membership and think that it's going to work without changing the things in your life. You're gonna have to make some changes. You can't just, it's not like a puzzle that you're just like putting the last piece in. The last piece is buy a gym membership and your
Right.
life the puzzle will be perfect.
That's why I like with New Year's resolutions, like, your mind doesn't just, okay, we
Yeah.
all have good intentions, but your mind doesn't just magically
Right.
transform at midnight.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen.
So you have to kind of reverse engineer
right.
the thought process of what is going to help you become successful. Like Harrison was talking about during break, he's doing the 10 weeks, but he was signed up for the morning. You're young, you have lots of stuff going on, and you
Ticket weeknights.
You had to change your
Every single
schedule
all of it,
around
yeah.
a little bit because
Yeah.
you were struggling to get in. So like you had to really sit down and think.
Yeah, it was tough because like first 5 weeks just was the schedule wise, it was brutal. And it's like, okay, I don't want to quit. Like it's just, it's not, the accountability thing definitely helps a lot too.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just one of those things where you just talk to work, and a lot of times they're pretty understanding. Maybe you have to come in an hour earlier, which in my case, that's fine. Like if I don't have to get up, at 5 a.m, I can definitely get in there a little earlier and then just switch, going to night. And that's helped me a lot more, being way more consistent. But yeah, you just can't quit. I mean, that's such a big thing. Like when you get down on yourself, you just have to push through. Because like you said, you miss a day, it's a lot easier to miss the next one. But way easier to miss the third one. And then, it's a week. You haven't even been there. So
Yeah.
And it's a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just keeps
Right.
going and going. So you just have to not give up on yourself. Because it's probably going to be hard at first. It's an entire mentality shift.
Yeah.
So you can't just beat yourself up when you miss a day or something happens, something goes wrong. You just got to stick with it. And, if that's changing your schedule up, so be it. You got to look at different avenues if it's not working for you, and just don't give up on it.
Yep. You got to think about how it's going to work. Like, okay, I want to work out at this time. So I need to go to bed at this time. I know I need to eat this meal. So I need to have the food ready. So there's definitely, you can't just think I'm going to because we see this, the people who quit the program within the 10 weeks didn't reverse engineer that. They didn't really plan it. They just thought, I'll wing it. I'll make it work. And then sometimes you really have to take a hard look at your life and your schedule and figure out, where you can fit it in. So go ahead. You can talk about your graphic now.
It's okay to have setbacks.
Oh, yeah.
Like we have setbacks all the time. We're just average people.
Yep.
So I kind of sound like, I don't want to be too intimidating to people when they come in.
I don't think you're intimidating.
No, I know.
Anybody.
I don't want to be intimidating. Like, sometimes you go to gyms and like people are like, oh my gosh, this guy would just beat the living daylights out of me.
No one would know because you wear a sweatshirt all the time.
See?
Like you might
Right.
have a lot of really ripped muscles.
I
under
might.
there. Mhm.
I might. But so it's okay to have setbacks. It's okay if you miss a week, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you can't let that 1 or 2 weeks lead to just never doing it again.
Yeah.
So I found this post on Facebook. Lance Farrell always shares like really good motivational, inspirational stuff. So I kind of take screenshots, then share them with our members and stuff. But it's always funny, like the people that I'm posting these for aren't the people that are liking the post.
Oh
like,
yeah, I know.
Like I posted thinking
They
about
probably unfollowed you by now.
thinking about going to the gym,
Right.
burn 0 calories.
Yeah.
So the people that haven't been to the gym forever
Yeah.
don't like the comment,
Right.
or they don't even see it, or they just unfollowed us. Yes. So this is true. Like when I'll relate to Farrell's, right? First, it's an intention. So everybody is going to have an intention.
It's like the first day of school. You're so excited.
Right.
Everything's going to be different.
Or
this is it.
It's January 1.
Yeah. Right.
2023. We all have good intentions.
Yeah.
Everybody has good
Mine
intentions.
is usually I'm going to eat more vegetables, and it's October. It's November now, and I'm like,
And you
okay.
haven't started yet?
No, I just every like 2 weeks I'm like, okay, I need to eat more
Yeah.
vegetables.
So the good thing is, like, yes, you don't have to wait till January 1st to change something.
Yeah.
You can really change
So
it
it starts with
anytime.
an intention.
It starts with an intention. So everybody that signs up for the 10-week challenge, or everybody that signs up for a year of fit, or signs up to be a fit member, has good intentions. Okay. Then that weaves into, then it's a behavior.
Yeah.
Right. So that first week, you're
Showing
starting
up.
to change your behaviors. You're starting to
Go to bed earlier.
Yep. Going to bed earlier. You're starting to log your food. You're starting to feel better. Those type of things. Then it turns into a habit, right? 21 days turns into a habit. That's kind of the goal, right? You want to get to 21 days of doing something. I haven't had any pop for going on 4 months now. I don't even know when we started this. I don't even think about having pop. So I've made it to that point where I've kind of eliminated that from
your mind,
my nutrition.
Yeah.
So, okay. Then after the habit, it becomes a practice, right? Then it's second nature. I would say for the Farrell's member, once you get through your initial 10 weeks and then you get through that first year membership, let's say.
There's definitely a danger zone when you finish your 10 weeks and you become a fit member. There is definitely a danger zone.
And that's what Peter talked about
Yeah.
when he was on our national challenge winner was, in his opinion, the danger zone of a Farrell's member is not the first 10 weeks. It's the second 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Because the first 10 weeks you're in the challenge, you're trying to win $1,000, you're showing up, you're not missing a class, you're not making excuses, you are doing whatever it takes. Okay, then once the challenge is over, if I miss,
then you're like,
Tuesday,
okay, so I just have to keep doing this.
Yeah, if I miss
yeah.
this, I miss that, it's fine.
Right.
So I think when you get to being a second nature is really when you've been doing something for a year now. So like the people that never miss a class at Farrell's,
yeah,
it's second nature to them. And then the last one is then it's simply who you are.
Yeah,
that's the last one. Like, let's bring up Marilee, right? That's who she was. She was somebody who was going to work out every single day, whether she was going through chemo, whether she was getting ready to go to hospice the next day.
Yeah.
I mean, she was out flipping tires
a week before she died.
Before she died.
Yeah.
Like she was trying to drive to the gym, when she was supposed to be going to hospice, right?
Yeah.
That's who she was.
Yeah.
That was her. That's who she was.
Became a part of
it
her.
became a part of her.
Yeah.
So we have members that have been at Farrell's, and I'm sure all the gyms, have people that have been going for 10 years. That's who they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of their life now. But you have to go through those steps to get there.
They're not special either. Those people aren't
nope.
special either. That's just what they've created their life around those habits that it just becomes. That's how second nature for me too. Physical activity is second nature for me. I actually feel worse if I don't exercise. That's why I do some type of physical movement every single day.
Right.
Even today, I already worked out on the treadmill. I've already taken 10,000 steps today. So, because that's part of my just daily routine.
Part of your DNA now.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't be as awake and I wouldn't be as engaging in this program if I hadn't already done that. Like that's kind of part of how I am. I have to kind of, get that kind of start of my day. That's my start of the day.
Right.
Was that always the case? No. I mean, I did Farrell's for a long time and there were lots of times where I, came 2-3 times a week, missed a whole week, got back into it. Then once I became an instructor and then a manager, I didn't have a choice, but it took time. It took time.
Yep. It takes time. So, hopefully that was a long answer.
Yeah. The point is it's a decision. You have to make a decision to make this a priority, and you can think this out as long as you possibly want to. You can just what if you don't do that? What if I don't exercise? Then I'm going to gain weight. I'm not going to be as strong. I'm going to struggle in my daily life. What if I don't pay attention to my nutrition? What if I don't eat intentionally with, whatever? Then you're going to have, blood issues, high blood pressure, cholesterol.
Basically going back to feeling the way you felt.
If you are saying, I cannot fit this in because my life is too busy, then you need to take a hard look. And this is me being the mean person. I'm always the bad cop. But if that is something that is holding you back, then you really need to sit down and think, what would life look like if you literally weren't here anymore? Because that is not something that's going to happen overnight by any means. I mean, for most people, but it is definitely when you're thinking that, you're worried about it. Basically, you are just a tiny little, like you say, snowball at the top of the hill. And that snowball could go either way. And it could go to, worsening health conditions or can go to bettering your health conditions.
Well,
and what do you think is going to make you a better, spouse, a better parent, a better, worker, better business owner is if you are healthy or if you continue to just berate yourself and let that keep you from doing what you think you need to do.
Right. Because, and instead I've been there. Like I quit Farrell's for a year and a half and gained 40 pounds, because I didn't really learn anything. And we're always still learning too. Like I still have my ups and downs and, that's just part of life.
Yeah, things are going to happen. Like I've talked about, I didn't intend to have a back injury that's been, a year and a half and I've gained like 25 pounds and that's really hard mentally. But physically it's really not. I've been able to, overcome that, modify, get over it. I'm 90% improved from where I was a year ago right now. And so I can't let what is frustrating for me, I can't let that hold me back from what I can still do and know that I'm still healthy, and do what I can and be grateful for what I can do instead of just sitting down and feeling sorry for myself for what I can't do.
Right.
Which is what we do. We tend to be hard on ourselves about the things that we cannot control and work easy on ourselves about the things we can control.
What can we control?
Yeah.
We can control what we eat.
Yeah.
Nobody's forcing me to eat ice cream.
Right.
I'm choosing to eat it, right? Nobody's forcing me to not work out. Those are decisions that I like yesterday. Yeah, I didn't work out.
Which is fine.
It's fine.
Right.
And nobody said, Jeff, you're not working
jokingly, because I knew you did and I didn't.
Well, how did you know?
Because I know you.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So, I didn't work out yesterday.
Yeah.
But that was I chose. I can control that.
And it's fine.
But there's a lot of stuff we
Does that
can't
mean you're
control.
not going to work out tomorrow?
No.
Right.
No. I will be working out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that's the other thing about am I being hard on myself about something I can't control when there are 100 things that I can control that I'm just slacking off and being easy on myself about.
Right.
And that usually is the gap that you need to bridge.
And you're always going to feel better.
Yeah,
after a
Harrison
workout.
and I were talking about that during break, that, you know, it's like a reverse reward, and you tend to forget that, you know, you're going to feel better once you do it. Nothing in life works that way, really. We do things out of obligation, and then you reap the reward. You go to work so you can get paid. There's nobody that gives you money. You don't get paid a week in advance from any job. You know what I mean? Like, you go to your work and then you get paid. Exercise is the opposite of everything in your life. You do the work and then you get the, you know, the reward, but the work it's a different mindset of, like, you know, you're going to feel better once you do it, but you have to do it.
Right.
And
All
we just drive the bus. You have to show up to the bus stop and get on the bus. We're just
Right.
the driver. We can't go to your house and pick you up.
Right. I mean, I wish we had that service.
Yeah.
But we don't. But I think if we did, we'd be ringing the doorbell.
Yeah, people would still.
No, I'm not going.
I know.
They could just leave. All right. We'll be right back here on the Fitness Fanatics. Keep your questions coming. 93.7 The Ticket.
Sunday morning. It's quiet. Not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
At Coppell Chevrolet GMC, we are thankful for so many things this year, starting with our great employees, a generous community, our military personnel, and most importantly, our loyal customer base that continues to drive that money-saving mile of Louisville. Hi, this is Sean Callahan, and on behalf of everybody at Coppell, we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving and safe travels to wherever they may take you. Happy holidays from Coppell Chevrolet GMC.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids. First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse. Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money. But like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse? Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam, ran right into the side of the saloon. Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is, my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately, in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. Welcome back into the Fitness Fanatics. We're just taking some questions here during our show today. So a lot of good information. We did have a texter text in, just said, I fully understand the sentiment as an avid gym goer, but please be careful how you guys talk about food. So if you could just elaborate on that a little bit more. We're just trying to see what we talked about that was bad or good or with the food aspect of it.
Right. Because I feel like we try to be so in our program, we give people guidelines for their nutrition based on their body composition. But I do feel like it's very sustainable. It's very moderate. We encourage people. My big thing is to, not necessarily restrict what you're eating, but try if there's something that you really want to eat, kind of keep that in there, but add something healthier to it, more a little nutrient dense, because food, we try not to put morality with food. I know you do. I try not to.
What's that mean?
Like you'll say something is a bad food, like this is bad. Like
sugar,
right? Well, just some people say that's a bad food. Like Reese's Pieces is a bad food.
Oh, okay. No,
and
that's good.
Right, I know. Yeah.
Well, I still get to eat like 2,200 calories a day.
Yes.
So it's not like I'm starving or
right.
anything.
Yes. The thing that we've struggled with the most with our program is people not eating enough in our program. So you do have to kind of I feel like it's very balanced. So I would like to elaborate on that a little bit. So hopefully that listener's still in, and maybe there's something that we could clarify. But, I try not to include morality with food. So like is Reese's Pieces bad? No, it's just food. It's still fuel. Your body will still use it to function, your body. But are there better choices? We always think of like good, better, best choices. It's not like you've never had Reese's Pieces again since you started Farrell's, Jeff, but I think we can all agree that drinking Mountain Dew and eating a bag of Reese's Pieces and Fritos is probably not the most nutrient dense food. It's not necessarily what your body needed, especially when that was the bulk of your kind of nutrition for the day. So I definitely think that we try to be pretty neutral when it comes to food and, telling people to add to your food and not necessarily restrict your food. So we still eat, you can fit anything into your macros. So you can you fit Doritos into your macros. Sometimes you'll make a little taco bowl for your lunch, and it's just a matter of portion control. You still eat that.
Right.
So yeah, if we could just get an elaboration on that, but.
Well, what's the next question here? What we want to go to?
We can, I don't know. We can talk about ways to track your progress that isn't on the scale, because I know that's kind of hard sometimes for people.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that was another question that we had. What's the best way to track your progress that isn't the scale? So, and we talked about this when we've had members on, and men especially tend to be very scale focused and weigh themselves incessantly. Women do too, but I think at a certain point with women, like this happened to me, I used to be that way. And then I got mad one day and I kicked the scale across the bathroom floor and it broke. And then we didn't have a scale anymore. So I stopped weighing myself every day. So
Problem solved.
yeah, I know. This was a long time ago. But I think that's pretty much when I broke up with my relationship of weighing myself every day.
Well, we don't even have a scale at home.
No, but we go to the gym every
Yeah,
single
there's
day and
scale
there's
there.
a scale. So we could weigh ourselves. And the thing is, even if I did weigh myself, I just by talking about progress that isn't the scale, just by the way that my clothes fit, I pretty much always know where I'm going to be. There's rarely a time ever that I get on the scale and I'm shocked by what it says. Like I know now because I know how I feel. I know what how my clothes fit. So that's a great one, a way to track your progress. So right now, as part of our program for our fit members, we do little challenges for the maintenance members each session. And so this session we're doing one where they took a picture. They took their own before picture in a piece of clothing that maybe didn't fit them as well. And so that's how they're measuring their progress for this challenge. So in a couple weeks, they're going to take their after picture in that same piece of clothing and, they're going to see progress that wasn't on the scale. So I think how your clothes fit is a huge way to track your progress. But I know Harrison has talked about too, how you just feel stronger, you feel better. Those things are also progress.
Yeah, like the knees not hurting. It's always such a concern because my family just got bad knees. So anything I can do to make that feel better is great. It's like now I can through the first, I'd say few weeks, like I could tell my knee had some pain already. Just doing simple things wasn't even crazy. And as it's going on top of you guys do the stretching every time too, and post workout stretching if you want to do that. Flexibility on top of it, and then adding the strength. If you don't have muscles to move your legs, to surround your knees, and you just got bones and cartilage, that's going to grind down so fast.
Yeah.
You have to give your legs some strength. And you don't have to see that on the scale.
No.
You'll feel that, relatively quick. That's one of the things that I feel like happens pretty fast is the joint pain. Obviously, you have cases where I forgot the name you said, where his knees were at a point to where he wasn't going to be able to kick the bag,
Right?
And that's fine.
Yes.
He still got leg strength, and I'm sure they still felt better at the end of it. But you don't want to push yourself. So it's things like that, just joint pain, and just sit and ask yoyourself how you feel. Like I have more energy than I did before.
Yeah.
Just simple things like that you don't have to have numbers to feel.
Yep. So that's the way you kind of track that progress. It's not scale. I actually had one of our 10-weekers. I didn't tell you this, Jeff, on Friday that asked me, because it's week 7. We just finished week 7. And she asked me, she was like, I am more sore now than I was like in the first week or 2. Is that normal?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I hope so. Like, yeah.
Say the weights are getting more aggressive.
Yes. Yeah. Like, yeah, because you're getting stronger and you're learning how to push yourself. We tell people the first couple weeks, you feel like you're kind of getting dragged through class. You get done with class and you're like, oh my gosh, what just happened? And then that changes. And then you start being able to push yourself a little bit more. And so, once we kind of just had a conversation about it, I'm like, well, yeah, think about week 1 when we were doing, a minute of bicep curls and you were using a yellow band. Like, I'm hoping you're not even picking up a yellow band for bicep curls anymore because you're stronger. And so you're working your muscles in new ways. I'm always sore. Like something is always sore. If I'm not sore, I'm a little bit disappointed. Now, what I eat, and that's the other thing I kind of talked to her about too. I'm like, now, if it's something that you're feeling like you're not recovering, that's where we want to look at your nutrition. Are you getting enough protein in? Are you drinking enough water? Are you doing the things to support the work that you're doing in the gym? So I think that that's another way to track progress is just being able to push yourself more and feeling stronger and doing more. We Mark's mom, who's going to be on next week with us, she just posted the other day that she is doing push-ups on her toes now. That's huge progress without worrying about what the number on the scale is.
Well, and one of our members at Yankee Ridge, the reason he started is because he had high blood pressure.
Oh yeah.
And I was just talking to him last week. I mean, he hasn't really lost any weight at all.
And he travels a lot. He has a really crazy schedule.
Yep. Hasn't really lost any weight, but he went into the doctor and his blood pressure, I'm not a blood pressure expert, but the bottom number, he's never been able to get it below 100. And it was like 83.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Just after 3 weeks, changing the way he eats. And again, not necessarily dropping weight, because you don't really, and I've talked about this before, being in a traffic jam and you're sitting there in traffic. you don't know what's happening down the road, just like you don't know what's happening internally. Yes, you might not be seeing a number on the scale drop, just like this member, but that doesn't mean he's not getting healthier internally, by burning fat, building muscle, just stuff that's not, there's stuff that's not measurable on a scale that is, quite frankly, more important going on in your body.
That's one of the things that I struggle with kind of our program is we do measure that stuff. We measure your weight, your body fat percentage, your muscle mass, your body fat mass. We measure that, but that's more from a troubleshooting perspective. We don't want people focusing on that, but it's really hard because that is tangible. It's black and white. It's a number. You can't really measure your endurance necessarily because that can fluctuate. Some days you're going to feel great because maybe you got really good sleep the night before, or you drank a lot of water, you're really hydrated, or maybe it's over the weekend you had some alcohol and then you come in on Monday and you just feel like really crummy because of that. So that's not always super tangible. So we measure that stuff because we want to make sure you're going in the right direction. But like my favorite people are the ones that are just like, I don't really care if I lose weight. I want my clothes to fit better. I want to feel better. Those are my favorite, because I already know that I don't have to like climb this big mountain to like get their mindset fixed to making progress without having to, berate yourself for the things like numbers on the scale.
Before we get to a break, we figured out this math and then we didn't even talk about
I know.
it.
Yeah.
Going back to Joe's question about making time. So throughout the 10-week challenge, you're basically committing 48 hours of your time to Farrell's.
To a workout.
45 minutes a day.
For working out.
45 minutes a day, 6 days a week for 10 weeks. That's 48 hours.
It's less than 48 hours. That's including the orientation.
Including orientation.
Right.
Yes. So that's how many hours you will spend working out. Over that same 10 weeks, you have 1,680 hours of life.
Yep.
In those 10 weeks.
48 hours of it you're working out.
Which comes up to 2.8% of your time. So you need to be able to find 45 minutes a day to put you first, because that 45 minutes a day will really help change your life. And I think everybody who
and it realistically takes more than 45 minutes because you have to, or 48 hours, because you are, changing habits. You're making food differently. You're eating differently. You're maybe trying new recipes, trying new things, planning your meals. So it's going to take a little bit more. But like when you think about that 1,600 hours versus 48 hours of work, like that really does make it seem like it should seem manageable, I would hope, for most people.
Right. So
it almost seems like, is that enough?
Am I spending enough time doing this?
Which yes, you are. Yes.
All right.
More
Well,
is not always
we're going to
more.
take a break. We got one more segment coming up. If you have any last couple questions you want to sneak in there, 402-464-5685. We'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket.
Life is too short to constantly be in pain and do nothing about it. Why not get a massage to ease your body pains away? The Body Shop in Lincoln is your place for all types of massages. Deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. Interested in a couples massage? The Body Shop offers those too in 1 hour or 90-minute increments. Book your appointment today or get ahead on gift giving with a gift certificate at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People Seating mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You know, the year has been a great year for Aspen Builders. We have had many repeat customers, and we worked with a lot of new people building their dream home.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
It's amazing when you go through the building process. Okay, what do I need in this home? I need the 4 bedrooms. I need the walkout basement, or I need the big yard. It's fun to find that perfect lot, design the home, get everything that we need, and then we add those want things. We add the gourmet kitchen. We add the big walk-in pantry. What we try to do is balance a budget with things that you really need in the home, get items included in this home that you won't find just in any home anymore. So in the end, you've got the perfect place.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the Fitness Fanatics. It's been a great show, a lot of great questions. We don't get to cover a lot of stuff. We always have guests in here, so it's just kind of nice to.
Yeah, we kind of cover all this stuff, but it's from other people's perspectives. So
Right.
it's just always good to kind of
Right.
talk about it too.
So
and-
again, we mentioned at the top of the hour, this is our last show. Our Black Friday sales coming up this Friday.
is not our last show.
No, it's our last show before
little hiatus here.
Right. No,
Black
not even a
Friday.
hiatus. No, he's saying before the
Black Friday sale.
Oh,
sale.
so, okay.
Yeah. No, we're no hiatus. We're
We'll
back
be here
next week.
the 4th. Now,
Yeah.
once we get it, we probably won't have a show on Christmas Day.
Right. Yeah.
Fair
I don't
enough.
think
Yeah.
DP wants to come in on Christmas Day for
Yeah.
the Fitness Fanatics or New Year's
Christmas
Day.
is on a Sunday this year.
Yeah,
I
it's on
haven't
a
even
Sunday.
looked yet. Okay.
So no, we have a show next week. Mark will be in. We'll get an update on his progress. Also, Mark's mom
Mhm.
will be in as well. So that'll be a fun show. Maybe we can get some stories about Mark when he was a kid. Stuff, just some what did he do bad in high school? Just some stuff like that. What might be fun
Yes.
for the listeners to learn about. So Black Friday sale for our 10-week challenge. It's actually open right now. They said we have about 30 people that have signed up to do the challenge in January. It's $199. That is going to be good from now through Friday. So you can go to fxblincoln.com if you want to get the enrollment link and promo code. You can text me directly at 402-310-4026. Just say, hey, Jeff, heard you on the radio. Want to get signed up, and I can send you over the enrollment link and the promo code to get access to that. So new location coming to the north side of Lincoln, North 70th and Vine at the Meadow Lane Shopping Center. We should be done and up and running our goals by December 19th. So we'll have a few weeks in there before our new group comes in. So we already have like 22 people signed up to come to Meadow Lane. 6 a.m.'s already rocking. I think we have 10 people signed up for 6. So those 5 and 6 a.m. classes do fill up. We have a 4 a.m. class at both gyms, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. at both gyms. We also have at the Meadow Lane location, we have a 12:15,
9:15,
a 9:15, and then a 12:15 express class, which is 30 minutes long. So if you live down on O Street, you work in one of those businesses there at the mall, and you're like, oh, I just have an hour to get this in. 30 minutes. You can come. We have showers at the facility. So you can shower and get back to the office, get back to work. So, and then we also have some nighttime classes, 4:30, 5:30 at Yankee Ridge, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. at Meadow Lane, along with a virtual workout, which I know a lot of our members love doing, especially on like Saturdays. They don't want to get up at 6 a.m. So they'll just do the workout at 10 or whenever they get out of bed.
Because even if you're in town, you'll still have
Yeah.
access to those virtual workouts.
Yes. So we have a lot of people that
Excuse me.
also what we call like a hybrid.
Yeah.
That'll do part-time in the gym, part-time at home. So a lot of members from like Bryan Hospital, nurses and stuff that have kind of different schedules all the time. So like if they're working 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and they have a day off, they don't want to come to 5 a.m. So they'll sleep in or they'll do. I had one of our members said she did her band's workout at the hospital.
Oh yeah.
So there again, getting it done.
Yep.
So all right. Do you have any final touches? Anything you want to add before we sign off here as we get ready for our NFL Sunday with our kids?
Yeah, we got
I don't
about
think
3
so.
minutes here, so we can
Okay.
we
Talk
can dive-
football?
Well, whatever you guys want, we can go anywhere with it.
Okay,
you want
so
to talk football because the Packers already lost.
That
this
feels
week.
great.
Right?
Justin Fields is on track to have a better rushing season than Lamar Jackson's record-breaking
Right.
season. So,
well, and I'll tell you, so our son, we have this little whiteboard
okay,
on our fridge that has like win totals, and we have these little magnets: Ravens magnet, Bears magnet, Packers magnet.
Yeah.
So like we have them stacked in order of wins, right? So
Yeah.
the Bears are at 3, Packers are at 4, Ravens are at 6.
Yeah.
So over the weekend, now he added a
second column.
playoff
Right.
board, like eliminated in the playoffs,
Yeah.
and our daughter moved the Packers to eliminated
Prematurely.
It's funny. So
Prematurely.
the kids are big Ravens fans, and
Yes.
I'm a Bears fan. Nicole's a Packers fan. I personally like this game today against the Falcons. I know like you don't want your team to lose on purpose, but I think this season is going perfectly for the Bears. We weren't going to win the Super Bowl It looks like Justin Fields is developing. I like the trade they made for Claypool, since there's not going to be a lot of big time receivers that are free agents for next year. So that was good. Have the most cap space in the league.
Yeah.
And as of right now, we have the number 6 pick. So what I'm kind of hoping is that we can sneak into the top 3.
Is there a way to recruit for like a good draft picker? Because I feel like
no, the Bears did really well. We have a different GM and everything. So
Okay.
it's kind of a new regime there.
Okay.
So they're going to have the most cap base. What I would like for them to do is to have a top 3 pick and then get a king's ransom for a QB, just like the Dolphins did.
Yeah.
So the Dolphins traded basically Trey Lance for Tyreek Hill. And then they also their other was Jalen Waddle.
Yep.
And their defensive player they just got from the Broncos, who's the defensive Chubb.
Yeah.
So Trey Lance for Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Bradley Chubb.
All for Trey Lance.
That's what I want the Bears to do. Exactly. Trade that top 3 pick because they don't need a quarterback, and move back in the draft and just get tons of draft capital, and then turn that pick into 3, like just what the Dolphins did.
Yeah, especially now because there's we're at a point in time where there's so many good wide receivers. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to get a lottery pick to land a dude that's just going to be stellar. So if
Right.
we can use that, just trade it off, and then just get, like you said, King's ransom. We can be sitting pretty good here. I'm excited. I just gotta I gotta calm down a little bit.
Right.
This is the first time I'm watching.
Yeah.
I was a Bears fan, when I was younger, and we were just awful.
Yeah.
We were just not a good team. I
You
lost
had,
my
like,
fandom a
1
little
year.
bit. Yeah, we had Jay
Yeah.
Cutler was our guy. I lost my fandom. I came back about 10 years later, and I was like, we are still a bad team. How is this possible?
Yeah.
And this is
remarkable.
the first time there's a glimmer of hope.
There is a glimmer of hope. So, and the Bears are losing. I mean, they could have won a lot of these games. Like, they're just right there. I mean, like against the Dolphins, should have been a pass interference. It wasn't. We fumbled against the Vikings, just kind of still making stupid mistakes. But, and they could beat the Falcons today. And if they do, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
But if they lose, they've lost for 40 years. So
As long as it's a good loss, right?
one more year. Yes.
Some glimmers.
All right. Well, thanks to everybody that texted in questions. Again, Black Friday sale this weekend. Give me a call, 402-310-4026, fxblincoln.com. We'll see you next weekend with Mark and his mom on the Fitness Fanatics. Have a great week.